You don't record. All right. So what's up, guys? It's me, JSB,
And Autumn Haley.
and we here to talk about the concept of heaven and hell. So y'all can see by the title, and I want to say welcome to Real Stars. This is the first episode. Um, it's not all the way structured like how I want it to be, but we're gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? So, with further ado, let's get into this concept. So, this is my beautiful and lovely, supportive wife, Autumn.
Hi, everybody. Happy
Yeah.
to be here.
Yes. All right, so okay, boom. Uh, the concept of heaven and hell. I just don't want to jump right into this shit because it's gonna seem fake. So, me and Autumn gonna have conversations and shit like that. So, Autumn,
Yes.
I don't want to throw it all on you, but I mean, we talked about this shit already. So, um, our perception of heaven and hell is like you can make a heaven out of the situation you in, or just I think heaven and hell is like a state of being. So whatever state of being you in, that's what will determine whether you in heaven or hell or not. You know what I'm saying? So like if you in a situation where okay, say if one individual is on side of you and this individual is like, no, my life is living hell. JSB, I'm going through the worst time of my life. That motherfucker is in hell. And on the other side, this individual is like, yeah, man, I got all these business opportunities in his life, like going the way he wanted. That's like heaven. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I want to say heaven or hell it is a state of being that only the individual experiencing can put themselves through. Like, it's
yeah,
not a consequence of judgment or a place you go after you die and your whole life is based on a series of judgment of what you've done that determines like where you go. Like, that concept is completely
exactly.
fabricated and
Yeah,
totally made up, honestly. So you as an individual, you put yourself through these states of being, and you can also take yourself out. It doesn't have to be fixed. So you don't have to spend your whole life in a state of hell or even a state of heaven. Like, you can travel in and out of these phases depending on your
yeah,
mindset and the situations and circumstances you
yeah.
put yourself through.
And we not looking at these states like it's bad or good. I just try to generalize those things. But uh, hell. Sometimes hell is needed. Sometimes we need to go through hell to like uh accumulate or receive what we need to be in heaven. You know what I'm saying? To maintain that position in that space. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like she said, it don't make sense to live when you die, and like that whole concept is just like I believe made up because everything is real when it comes to like religion. All that shit is real. It's just like the way that they believe it makes them give their power up to another individual outside of themselves.
And
You
it
know?
instills a lot of fear. Like, a lot
Yeah.
of it is fear based. Like, the whole concept of we need to watch, like, you can't sin and you need to watch how you live because when you die, you'll face judgment. And, like, that is all just instilling fear. And that's like the lowest, or that's not a vibration you want to be at because you can't manifest and you can't create your own heaven with fear in your heart and in your mind.
Yep. And fear is one thing you can utilize to get another individual or a spirit to be aware of something. And they know this, and so they utilize fear to get a multitude or just trap a multitude of individuals in a box. So it's like if you make a lot of individuals fear, or if you put a lot of individuals in fear, they will demand for their freedom to be taken away, just based upon them being in fear. So they will give up their freedom for safety, and that's how it's being done right now. That's what's being done right now. Yeah, the concept of heaven and hell. You don't have to stay in these states. We fluctuate through these states. I think like daily. um, it's like we all go through ups and downs in life, and you decided to come here. So if you ain't strong, you shouldn't have came. Heaven and hell is a state of being, and whatever state you in will determine where you at in the esoteric realm, in the spiritual realm, whatever y'all want to say. You know what I'm saying?
And to
And
simply put it, like, hell is just like that state of being is just being in a space that you don't want to be in. Heaven is being in a space that feels good to you, that feels right to you. So it's not like it's not these eternal locations. It's just more about what you feel and what you experience.
yeah,
Is
because
it
if you
something that feels resistant or something that feels like it flows well with your being?
yeah, yeah, and I was gonna say like if you die in a hellistic state of being, you just gonna go to that world again. I'm not saying hell is bad, but you don't want to die in that state. Hell is needed. You don't want to die in a state of regret because you just gonna inhabit another vessel that's similar to that type of state of being you was in, or you're gonna go to another world that's similar. You know what I'm saying? And going to another world is not going to another place. You're gonna inhabit a vessel that's similar to that state of being that you was in. But it's the same world though. You're just in a different world view. You know what I'm saying? So you might fuck around, and if you die depressed, you're gonna fuck around and experience that tenfold. And you gotta deal with that, and it's gonna get worse and worse until you actually come to grips that like I gotta deal with this. Like I got to. It's gonna like progressively get worse and worse and worse. And in life, anything, whatever you don't deal with, is gonna get worse. Like look at life like you gotta look at life like life. You know, like so like say if you don't take care of your car, something wrong with your car, your tire pressure low, then you keep driving on that tire, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse. And then boom, it gets so worse to the point that you gotta fix it because it's to the point where you see it now. So that's what life is. Like if you in these states and you don't fix it, you gonna keep going through this shit until you inhabit a vessel or come into a life where it's so apparent that you got to take care of it. And I say like start fixing shit while it's small. So if you notice something while it's small, make sure you fix that before it fix it itself. JSB quote: "Fix it before it fix it itself." Fix it before it gets to a point where it can't be fixed no more. Sometimes we get lazy. Sometimes we put it off because we don't know how to do it. Um, it's a lot of shit that go on. Like,
So,
look,
I didn't mean to cut you off,
it's
but
all good.
so let's go into what can, how can an individual get themselves into these different states of being? Like, how does an individual manifest hell for himself or heaven for himself? And
Okay, right now.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so uh, if you inhale internally, ultimately you will manifest hell externally.
And so
So
how does that happen? Like,
it's a lot of individuals that's in hell because of they needs. So like, what puts us in hell is our wants and our needs.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So what we think we want and what we think we need, most of the times, oftentimes puts us in hell. Heaven, if you feel like you getting what you want and you need, that's heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You put yourself in heaven just based upon your internal, like how you are internally. You only get what you deserve. So if you fucked up internally, ultimately you will manifest hell for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you good internally, you're gonna end up manifesting heaven for yourself, a situation that you want to be in. We all experience heaven on a small level, minute level. Like heaven can be anything for real. Like you having sex, you can be homeless, you be going through hell, and you have sex, and then you could be in heaven for that little amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how what up? I forgot what you said. I forgot what you said. How
Just
we develop.
how individuals can manifest that state of being within themselves, how they can get
Yeah.
to those spaces.
Yeah. It's all within you. Like it's all just within you. Whatever goes around comes around, man. Whatever you do, it's gonna come full circle. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
And also, the concept of judgment is also individually based. Like, there's no one outside of you that can cast judgment on the life you've lived. People have to face themselves when
Mm-hmm.
they transform and inhabit whatever vessel they choose or whatever life they choose to live. Like, we all have to face ourselves, and that's the only judgment that individuals face. There's no
Yep.
superior being looking down and saying, "Oh, you've lived this life, so."
Hell, that shit don't make sense. That shit's simple.
Mm-hmm.
So what she said, like, you gonna live in the bed you make. Like whatever state of being you die in, that's the bed you gotta lay in. So you better get right with yourself. And that's all that matters is you. That's it for real. That's it. Like that's all. That's like when it comes to that. When it comes to that, that's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
all you. Yeah. You got any other concepts in the concept of heaven and hell? Or like you got any other ideas to add on?
Hmm. I do want to say, I feel like it is important to not run from yourself or lie to yourself as an individual. Like, um, delusion and illusion can be a form of um, damn, where was I going with that? Hold on.
Yeah. Like it's important not to lie to yourself, but sometimes, a lot of times, we all lie to ourselves and shit like that. And I won't say it's like I won't say don't I won't say like 100% don't lie to yourself because sometimes you need to lie to yourself in order to get out of certain spaces and shit like that. Sometimes we need a little self delusion, like look in the mirror and be like, I'm big and strong, but you ain't big and strong. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
like like fake it till you make it type of energy.
I feel like the delusion comes from convincing yourself that your actions, it's more like action based. Like,
Oh yeah, in that way.
yeah,
Yeah, so
like,
like because that's like detrimental.
mm-hmm.
Like if you I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, and never do it, you know what I'm saying? You just lying to yourself. And in the mental aspect, self delusion is sometimes necessary, but in the physical aspect, like it's not good to lie to yourself. Like when it comes to something you got to do in the physical realm, take action on. You got any like more little small points that you want to get to on this concept?
But I think what I was trying to say with that is I was trying to think about how to formulate it, but when I say like lying to yourself about the things you do in life or like your actions, I mean, say you carry yourself a certain way or you do things that are detrimental, but it's like you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
You do things that are detrimental to your life and possibly others' lives, but it's like you can't see what you're doing because you tell yourself lies to like justify your weakness or justify like your wrongdoings, and that can keep a person in a loop, or that could keep a person in a state of hell who's delusional about the state of being that they're in. So they're creating their own little heaven based on, well,
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of ways you talk about it, but that's like a depressed person though. That's what a depressed person is. Like
mm-hmm.
a person who don't want to a person who always depressed is just keep themselves down and shit like that. And we know all these like down, up, right, left is it's how you feel, and that makes you travel in that certain direction. So if you feel up, if you feel optimistic, you move up. If you feel like you want to go forward with something, you move forward. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you regret something, you go backwards. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a description of a depressed ass person, that somebody that don't want to change themselves and shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
they allow themselves to keep themselves in that position because they don't want to change, or they just know better, but they don't want to do better. If they do know better, they don't want to do better because they don't want to change. So you don't want to help that person. Like that person don't even need help. But if they're around an individual who can provide knowledge and wisdom in the right way, then yeah. But you shouldn't try to like forcefully help that individual, like because they won't listen, and they would just manifest. And what would just manifest is like they will create situations where they just sway away from you and shit like that, and they like or keep things from you, or they would like hide shit from you or not be as open to you because they feel like um if they share shit with you, all you're gonna do is tell them about themselves and shit like that. So
Yeah.
that's what that is. You don't really want to try to help that person too much because in the end it's gonna turn out bad for you. You're gonna be depressed because of that person. The depressed person gonna make you depressed in the end, all in the end. I tried so much. I tried to do what I could do. I tried. And now look, you depressed.
The moral of the story is we are in control of the state of being we're in, and we're in control of
Yes,
how
sir.
our life plays out, whether that's negatively or positively. It's up to us individually, and nothing has to be fixated. Um, you, we travel through different spaces
Exactly,
all the
man.
time.
Like, get y'all dumbass on. Like, since when you die, it don't make sense to die and just be in eternal hell or eternal whatever y'all want to call that shit. It don't make sense to me, and it don't make sense like one giant being just watching over everybody. Like, whoa, I'm gonna judge him. Like, for any one individual being to have that much responsibility, that's stressful. Everybody I know who got a lot of responsibilities like that, stressed the fuck out. Stressed. That's I'm like a super passionate individual, and shout out to my beautiful, lovely wife. Y'all can see her like picture on the screen right. Y'all see how fine she is. But yeah, that's us and shit. That's how we think, and we gonna come with more concepts. I wanted to really get into a lot. I feel like it's more we should talk about though, Autumn.
Let's keep going.
So, boom. Um, yeah, the concept of heaven. I'm just having fun with it. I'm having fun with it. That's it. I'm having fun with it. That's it. I'm having fun with it. But okay. Um,
I mean, the concept of heaven and hell is pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Like,
yeah.
it's
That could have
just
been done
a.
in like 5 minutes. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, thank y'all for channel. Okay, I want to talk about this as well.
Okay.
Um, I look at every individual. Well, this is just my shit. I'm gonna say this. Then we gonna get out of it. Okay. Um, I look at every individual like a chef. No, every individual who doing what I'm doing like a chef. You know what I'm saying? Every individual who relay information like an information giver. I look at them like chefs. So they all serve food for thought. And some chefs, you got to watch who you eat from because these chefs be serving this old ass, outdated ass information. So it's like a chef serving like old ass pasta with mold on it and shit, and then you still eating up, you still eating it, you still eating it. So like it's like food for thought. If you eating this old ass information, like this Christian or just old information, just outdated information, you gonna get sick in the head. So like look on the physical, look on the physical aspect. If you eating this raw ass, this molded ass pasta, you're gonna get sick when you keep eating that shit. So if you keep eating all this information, all this old ass outmolded, outdated information, you're gonna get sick in the head and shit like that. So watch what chef you eating from. Because if not, you might fuck around and eat some molded food. And if you eat some molded food, you gonna get sick, man. And watch who you hang around too, because if that individual is molded, I don't give a fuck how fresh you is, that mold gonna spread to you, and you can't prevent it. You know what I'm saying? You can't prevent mold from spreading. If you around it, you gonna get molded. Like you can't prevent that. Sorry. You watch your surroundings. And it's been me, JSB.
And Autumn Haley.
And Autumn Haley, that beautiful ass voice. So thank y'all for tuning in to Real Starz. And there's a lot more to come.
Yep.
There's a lot more to come till next time.
Bam.